Hello, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all to today's lecture, where we will be delving into the fascinating world of Sanskrit literary criticism through our exploration of Kuntaka's The Vital Force of Literary Language. In particularly excited about today's discussion as we unravel the intricate layers of literary expression presented by Kuntaka. Your active participation and engagement throughout the lecture will enrich our understanding and make this journey even more rewarding. Today, our focus will be Kuntaka's seminal work, The Vital Force of Literary Language. We will examine its significance within Sanskrit literary criticism and its broader implications for our understanding of literary theory and interpretation. Before we dive into the specifics, it's essential to recognize the broader significance of Kuntaka's work. Understanding the vital force of literary language not only enriches our comprehension of Sanskrit literary criticism, but also offers valuable insights into the universal principles of literary expression across cultures and the time periods. Now, let's take a moment to consider why studying Sanskrit literary criticism is relevant beyond its immediate culture and historical context. Sanskrit literary criticism offers us a unique perspective on the art of storytelling and the nuances of language, providing valuable lessons that transcend cultural boundaries. By exploring diverse cultural perspectives on literary expression, we gain a deeper appreciation for the richness and complexity of human creativity. Let's begin by shedding some light on the life and contributions of Kuntaka. Kuntaka was a prominent Sanskrit scholar who lived in Kashmir near the end of the 10th century. His keen intellect and deep insights into literary theory earned him a place of distinction among his contemporaries. Kuntaka's background and cultural upbringing influenced his perspectives on literature and language. While the vital force of literary language remains his most renowned work, Kuntaka's intellectual legacy extends beyond this seminal work. To understand the significance of the vital force of literary language, we must place it within the broader context of Sanskrit literary tradition. Kuntaka's work emerged during a vibrant period of literary flourishing in ancient India, characterized by rich poetic traditions and scholarly discourse. Kuntaka's text represents a pivotal moment in the evolution of Sanskrit literary criticism, building upon the insights of earlier theorists, while also charting new territory in the exploration of literary expression. Kuntaka, a Sanskrit poet and literary theorist, flourished during the 10th century, a period marked by vibrant intellectual milieu in the Indian subcontinent. His seminal work, the Vakrokti Jivitam, stands as testament to his erudition and enduring influence in the realm of literary aesthetics. Central to Kuntaka's theory is the notion that literature operates on multiple levels. The levels like context, form, and meaning, each interwoven to create a harmonious whole. He meticulously analyzes the various dimensions of obliquity, identifying six distinct levels at which it operates: phonetic, lexical, grammatical, sentential, episodic, and compositional. This comprehensive framework enables a nuanced understanding of literary texts from their phonological intricacies to their thematic depth. Now, why is the vital force of literary language considered a cornerstone of Sanskrit literary criticism? Well, this text offers comprehensive framework for understanding the intricacies of literary expression, from the nuances of language to the emotional resonance of poetry. Kuntaka's ideas have left an indelible mark on subsequent literary theorists, shaping the discourse on aesthetics and interpretation for centuries to come. As we delve deeper into Kuntaka's work, we will uncover the enduring relevance of his concepts in contemporary literary studies, demonstrating the timeless appeal and universal relevance of Sanskrit literary criticism. Vakrokti, translated as crooked utterances or striking usage, represents a fundamental concept in Sanskrit literary criticism. It goes beyond mere figurative language to encompass the entire spectrum of linguistic expression that captivates and engages the reader or listener. Vakrokti is characterized by its ability to evoke surprise, delight, or aesthetic pleasure through its clever use of language. Kuntaka's concept of Vakrokti builds upon the foundations laid by earlier scholars such as Bhamaha and Dandin. While Bhamaha and Dandin focused primarily on technical aspects of figurative language, Kuntaka expands the notion of Vakrokti to include a broader range of linguistic devices and stylistic elements. He emphasizes the transformative power of language to transcend the ordinary and evoke deeper emotional and aesthetic responses in the audiences. The evolution of figurative language theory in Sanskrit literary criticism reflects a shift from purely technical approach to a more holistic understanding of literary expression. Kuntaka's emphasis on Vakrokti represents a culmination of this evolution, as he recognizes the importance of linguistic creativity and imagination shaping the aesthetic experience of the reader or listener. To illustrate the concept of Vakrokti in practice, let's explore some examples from Sanskrit literature. In Kalidasa's Meghaduta, the poet employs vivid imagery and metaphor to evoke the beauty and grandeur of nature. Lines such as "The clouds, like hermits with matted locks, wander the sky in search of arms of water," exemplify the use of Vakrokti to create striking and memorable images. In Bharvi's Kirtarjunya, The poet utilizes irony and wordplay to depict the intense emotions of the protagonists. For instance, the description of Arjuna's arrow piercing through the heart of his enemy with the force of thunderbolt showcases the dramatic impact of Vakrokti in conveying the intensity of the moment. These examples demonstrate how Vakrokti enriches the aesthetic dimensions of literary expression by infusing language with creativity, imagination, and emotional resonance. Rasa, often translated as emotion or flavor, occupies a central position in Sanskrit literary theory. It refers to the emotional essence or mood evoked by literary work, which transcends mere narrative content to evoke a deeper aesthetic experience in the audience. Rasa serves as the foundation upon which the entire edifice of Sanskrit poetry and drama is constructed, guiding both the creation and appreciation of literary art. Rasa plays a pivotal role in shaping the reader's aesthetic experience by eliciting emotional responses and intellectual engagement. As audience members engage with a literary work, they undergo a process of aesthetic relishing wherein they immerse themselves in the emotional and imaginative world created by the text. Rasa serves as the medium through which this aesthetic communion occurs, fostering a profound sense of connection and resonance between the reader and the work of art. Kuntaka offers a unique interpretation of rasa, emphasizing its role in enhancing stable emotions in literary characters. Unlike earlier theorists like Anandavardhana, who focused primarily on the evocation of rasa in the audience, Kuntaka highlights the internal dynamics of rasa within the literary text itself. He explores how the aesthetic elements of a work, such as language, imagery, and symbolism, contribute to the heightened emotional experience of the characters and, by extension, the audience. In Kalidasa's Shakuntalam, the portrayal of King Dushanta's longing for regret upon realizing his separation from Shakuntala exemplifies the tragic rasa. The use of poignant imagery and introspective dialogue heightens the emotional impact of the scene, eliciting empathy and pathos in the audience. In Bhavbhuti's Uttara Ramakarita, the depiction of Sita's unwavering devotion and sacrifice amidst adversity evokes the sentiment of heroism or virrasa. Through her noble actions and steadfast resolve, Sita embodies the ideal of selflessness and moral courage, inspiring admiration and reverence in the audience. These examples illustrate how Kuntaka's interpretation of rasa deepens our understanding of the emotional and aesthetic dimensions of literary expression, highlighting the intricate interplay between character, narrative, and audience response. Kuntaka challenges the conventional notion that rasa serves merely as an ornament in literary texts. Instead, he argues that rasa is inseparable from the narrative context, narrative content, and essential to the overall aesthetic experience of the work. By critiquing the idea of rasa as a superficial embellishment, Kuntaka emphasizes the integral role of emotion in shaping the meaning and impact of literature. Kuntaka's critic centers on the misconception that rasa can be detached from the narrative context and treated as an independent embellishment. He contends that rasa is not an extraneous adornment, but rather very essence of literary expression, imbuing the narrative with emotional depth and resonance. This perspective challenges scholars to reconsider the nature of aesthetic experience and the relationship between form and content in the literature. Kuntaka's argument against the separation of rasa from narrative content is grounded in his understanding of literary aesthetics as integral whole. He emphasizes that rasa emerges originally from the interplay of language, imagery, and narrative structure, rather than being artificially imposed on the text as a decorative element. By analyzing specific examples from Kuntaka's text, such as the depiction of longing and regret in Kalidasa's Shakuntala, we can see how rasa is intricately interwoven into the fabric of narrative, shaping the reader's emotional response and interpretation of the text. Kuntaka's critique challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about the role of emotion in literature and the nature of aesthetic experience. By highlighting the inseparability of rasa from narrative content, he prompts scholars to adopt a more holistic approach to literary analysis that acknowledges the interconnectedness of form and meaning. This revaluation has profound implications for how we interpret and appreciate literary texts, emphasizing the importance of emotional engagement and empathetic resonance in our encounters with literature. Kuntaka provides examples from Sanskrit literature to illustrate his critique of rasa as ornament. For instance, he may discuss passages from Kalidasa's Meghdutta or Bharvi's Kirtarjunya to demonstrate how rasa emerges naturally from the narrative context, enriching the reader's aesthetic experience. By analyzing these examples in detail, we can gain insight into Kuntaka's argument and its implications for our understanding of literary aesthetics. In this section, we delve into specific examples of Kuntaka's text that exemplify the enhancement of rasa in literary narratives. These examples illustrate how language, imagery, and narrative structure combine to evoke powerful emotional responses in the reader. The close examination is needed of the passages from Kuntaka's text, such as those depicting the erotic, thwarted, or tragic rasa, to uncover the techniques employed by the poet to enhance emotional resonance. Through close reading and textual analysis, we may elucidate the nuances of language and imagery that contribute to the heightened aesthetic experience. And by analyzing the elements contributing to the heightened emotional experience in poetry, including imagery, symbolism, and poetic devices, we can gain a deeper understanding of how literary texts evoke rasa in the reader. We may explore how these elements work together to create a rich and immersive aesthetic experience that resonates with the audience on emotional level. Finally, we can compare and contrast different types of rasa, such as the erotic, thwarted, and tragic in literary texts. Through comparative analysis, we may examine how these different types of rasa are portrayed and enhanced in poetic narratives, shedding light on the diverse range of emotional experiences evoked by literature. By exploring these examples in depth, we may gain a deeper appreciation for the intricacies of literary expression and the power of poetry to move and inspire the audience. Kuntaka's perspective on literary interpretation acknowledges the crucial role of audience response in shaping the meaning and reception of literary text. He recognizes that the aesthetic experience of a work of literature is not confined solely to the intentions of the author, but also depends on the perceptions and interpretations of the audience. By considering the diverse responses of readers or spectators, Kuntaka enriches our understanding of how literary texts are received and interpreted across different cultural and historical contexts. Kuntaka's emphasis on audience response contributes to a more nuanced understanding of the reception of literary texts. He recognition his recognition of the dynamic interaction between the text and the readers underscores the multiplicity of interpretations and meanings that can arise from a single work of literature. By attending to the diverse perspectives and reactions of readers, scholars can gain insight into the broader cultural and social significance of literary texts and their enduring impact on readers' lives. Kuntaka's formalistic approach to literary criticism, which emphasizes the technical and aesthetic aspects of literary expression, coexists with reception-based approaches that focus on audience reception and interpretation. While Kuntaka places a strong emphasis on the formal elements of literature, such as language, imagery, and narrative structure, he also acknowledges the importance of audience response in shaping the meaning and significance of literary texts. This dual perspective enriches our understanding of rasa and its role in literary aesthetics, highlighting the complex interplay between form and reception, form and reception in the interpretation of literature. Reception theory offers valuable insights into the reception and interpretation of Sanskrit literary texts across different historical periods and cultural contexts. By authoring to by attending to the diverse responses of readers and spectators, scholars can gain a deeper understanding of the cultural, social, and ideological dimensions of Sanskrit literature. Reception theory encourages scholars to move beyond a narrow focus on authorial intention of textual analysis and consider the broader cultural and historical factors that shape the reception of literary texts. Reception theory challenges scholars to adopt a more inclusive and interdisciplinary approach to the study of Sanskrit literary criticism, integrating insights from fields such as cultural studies, anthropology, and psychology. By attending to the diverse responses of readers and spectators, scholars can gain a richer understanding of the aesthetic, emotional, and intellectual dimensions of Sanskrit literature. Reception theory encourages scholars to explore the dynamic interplay between text and context, author and audience, form and reception, enriching our appreciation of the complexities of literary expression in Sanskrit literature or any other type of literature. So, in this lecture, we explored Kuntaka's The Vital Force of Literary Language and its significance in Sanskrit literary criticism. We discussed Kuntaka's concepts of Vakrokti, Rasa, and his critic of Rasa as ornament, highlighting their importance in shaping our understanding of literary aesthetics in Sanskrit literature. Kuntaka's ideas continue to resonate with scholars and enthusiasts today, offering valuable insights into the nature of literary expression and the aesthetic experience of literature. His concepts provide a framework for understanding the intricate interplay between form and content, emotion and intellect in the interpretation of literary texts. I encourage you to continue exploring Sanskrit literary criticism and its broader relevance to literary studies. By engaging with Sanskrit literature, we gain insight into the rich cultural heritage of South Asia and the enduring power of literature to inspire, provoke, and transform. There are many resources available for further research on this topic, including scholarly articles, translations, and critical editions of Sanskrit text. I invite you to delve deeper into this fascinating field and discover the timeless beauty and wisdom of Sanskrit literature. I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today and actively participating in our discussion. Your contribution have truly enhanced the depth and breadth of our exploration of Kuntaka's The Vital Force of Literary Language and its relevance to Sanskrit literary criticism. Your attentive listening made this lecture a truly engaging and rewarding experience. Thank you once again for taking the time to attend this lecture on Sanskrit literary criticism. For those who are eager to delve deeper into Sanskrit literary criticism, I would like to recommend some additional resources like Sheldon Pollock's Rasa Reader and P.K. Rajan's Indian Literary Criticism in English. So you can explore scholarly articles, critical editions of Sanskrit texts, and translations of works by Kuntaka and other Sanskrit literary theorists. I encourage you to continue your exploration of this fascinating field and further enrich your understanding of Sanskrit literature. Thank you all once again for your participation, and I look forward to our continued exploration of Sanskrit or English literary criticism together.